Hulk Hogan died, man, as the world knows. You know, it's crazy. Um, he was an icon. Someone we all appreciated and I guess looked up to a degree, and many years of entertainment, and then the controversy and the leak calls and stuff like that, and we know he fell short as any other man has, but guess for those that respected him and loved him, we lost an icon, I guess, to a degree, but you know, there's a lot of controversy around Hulk Hogan. Love him, hate him, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. Uh, I'm not I'm not happy that he died, but I mean, I'm not sad either. I will say that. And I'm not trying to be like disingenuous to him because we all grew up, like kind of like idolizing him as wrestling fans, the whole say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Or
I don't really like want to talk negative about him because the man has a family. I just don't like what I'm seeing on the internet about people, people saying like he's in hell and all of that. Like how where he's at?
or
Like has anyone ever died and came back and saw hell or heaven?
hmm
You know what I'm saying? To know where like you don't even know where you're going. So how you gonna say where somebody's going because he had some shortcomings? He might have done more good for society than his one error or one or two errors, and he had more errors than being a so-called racist. I didn't like when because when you're a kid and you're watching wrestling, we thought it was real at first, and then as we get a little older, I mean the whole thing with Hacksaw Jim Duggan and uh Iron Sheik got exposed, so it kind of like took a lens on off of the cloak of the business, and it kind of smartened us marks up, so now we getting all these stories years later like with the shoot interviews and all of that,
hmm
and for him to like go behind Jesse Ventura when they was trying to when he
or
suggested they unionize wrestling, and he
super
went back
foul.
and kind of like, yeah, he said he was with it and then he snitched on Jesse,
Right.
and that ultimately led to Jesse getting released from the WWF at the time. I
Or
think that was foul, but the man did a lot for wrestling for the business.
or
He brought a lot of money to it, and
yeah,
I just like people make mistakes. Uh, I'm
yeah,
not one for tribalism because that's essentially what racism is. The
right.
form it's a race it's a construct, it's an idea,
hmm
it's a social construct,
hmm
and it has a lot to do with tribalism and nationalism,
hmm
uh just like any other prejudice. And I don't think, like, as a Muslim, we're not even supposed to stand for any type of tribalism at all. Our prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said
I mean,
if you stand for it, fight for it, live for it, then you're not from us. And he wasn't referencing the Arabs, he was referencing the believers. No matter if you're Arab, African, American, white American, black American, whatever. So all these people that's saying, like, if a black person saying RIP to Hulk Hogan, you're just as bad. Like, y'all are a part of the bigger problem. To me,
yeah,
it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm not gonna say rest in peace to him because as a Muslim, like, I don't know what he's resting in. I
mm,
don't know. So I will say inna lillahi wa inna ilahi rajiun, which means from Allah we come and to him we shall return, because whether you're Muslim or not, you came from Allah and you're going to return to him when you die, and you have to answer for all your wrongdoing. So instead of y'all, ridiculing him, you shouldn't even say anything. Like,
right.
if I don't like somebody, I'm not speaking on it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like, honestly, I didn't really like him per se because of some of his actions, but I don't like a lot of niggas either. So me and him had that in common. You know what I'm saying? If he
Yeah.
wants to say he didn't like niggas, I don't like him either.
I be
You
feeling
know.
like I don't want to ever like try to rationalize what people do and like even try to break it down, right? Because we don't know what his background is, what his experiences are, and what his true feelings are. We all say things out of anger, right? We all say things that are foolish. We all wish we could take back certain things, even when like our everyday life with our friends, our family members, our wives, our women to their husbands. We always want to take things back that we say that are wrong. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And sometimes we go overboard. And I'm not trying to like cape for him or explain anything or rationalize or whatever, but like we all say things that we wish we didn't say, and that could be something
Right.
that maybe he wishes he didn't say. Because I think a lot of people's hatred towards people has to do with like social status more
Mhm.
so than like their skin color or their ethnic background. It's like
Mhm.
people hate people that are so-called trash, or people hate like someone that's poor because like oh, I'm rich, I got money, I'm in a different class than that person, everyone's beneath me. You know what I'm saying? I'm this big rich white uh icon, and everybody else is a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I
Right.
think a lot of people be thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? And they think a lot of people that ain't got it is just beneath them. And that's not a good way to think. And he could be a flat out racist. He probably is. It's probably a part of his upbringing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And right. But honestly, nobody knows the state he died in either. You just
Hmm.
saw he was sick. I saw he was sick. I saw a picture of him in a hospital bed with tubes up his nose, and it said he wasn't doing well. And then, you know, and this was like a few days ago, and then like now he died of cardiac arrest. You don't know on his deathbed if he asked anybody for forgiveness, and that's
Hmm.
between him and God, to be honest.
Hmm.
He could ask God for forgiveness
Yeah.
for everything. You don't know that. We
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people make mistakes, and then maybe when they feel it's near the end for them, because the body knows, like, you know,
Hmm.
uh, maybe he asked for forgiveness. That's why,
Right.
us that are still breathing, it's a lesson. Every time somebody dies, it's a lesson for you to reflect and know that's your final destination also. And whatever you can correct it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But people we're so like far gone. We're too big to apologize. We're too big to admit when we're wrong. You like, yo, I'm taking that to the graves.
Hmm.
Like, and then you might have to answer for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like people
Yeah.
really gotta watch what they say, man. I just don't like I get it. He's racist, or he might have said something racist. Just because you say something racist doesn't make you a racist, or like all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he slipped up, what was that, twice?
Hmm.
2008 and 2015.
Hmm.
He said something, and he could have been high on something. Unfortunately, a lot of these wrestlers, we know the stories. A lot of them,
Hmm.
get addicted to
Under the
painkillers and
influence. Yeah.
right. So
Under,
when you
yeah.
say things, you're not in your right mind. They what is a drunk? What's the saying that
A
we
drunk
always be
speaks the truth or
saying?
something like that. Like,
Right. Yeah, like, you just drunk.
yeah.
I don't believe in a drunk speaks the truth. Like, so when you're
Right.
not drunk, you're lying. That's what that
Right.
means to me. Like,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
drunk,
Yeah.
you're always lying. But if you're
Right.
drunk,
Right.
you speak
Right.
the truth. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's kind of
And if
like you
that
got
was
to
the
be
case,
intoxicated to speak the
i- i-
truth. Like,
if that was the case, the police, when they have you rounded up in the questioning room, they would have 240s there. You know
right,
what I'm saying? They would
right, to
have
get the
240s of OE
the
or
truth,
King Cobra. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying?
the
Like,
truth
yo,
serum.
here, take this straw
Don't
and
give,
get
don't
rippy.
give him a
You know,
Pepsi. Don't give him a Pepsi.
yeah, right. Don't give them
Just
the
give
grape
him,
soda and a
yeah,
glizzy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? From Nathan's, from
Give him the Mad Dog 2020 and let him spill his
Word,
guts.
and that's it. He'll be signing the document. He'll be signing the paper right there. The affidavit will be signed, and he'll be up out of here. Um,
Right.
but here's the thing with Hulk Hogan. A lot of people on social media is kicking him while he's down for the count. Obviously, he's out of here. He's left the earth. Um, like people will kick you when you're down, but they won't kick you while you're standing. You know what I'm saying? No one will really say nothing bad too much about him while he was standing. Although he did obviously like people that watch wrestling, right? He came out on Monday Night Raw. They booed the crap out of him. You know what I'm saying? They booed him. They got him up out of here. Like
I
basically, he
saw
couldn't even
Undertaker
do
laughing about it too in the
what.
interview. But he had Undertaker had a personal issue with him also from that
Piece of
stems
the
from
Taker.
years back when I guess he was supposed to, I think he beat Hogan, he said, and he had to take his finisher, no diddy. He had to take the tombstone, and Hogan like tried to pretend that he hurt his neck, that Taker hurt his neck, and Taker was scared, like, yo, I don't want to injure nobody. I want people to know, because you know that stuff travels. You hurt somebody, then it goes
Yeah,
to the locker room, like, yo, he's not safe. I'm not
yeah.
messing with him. So
Look
Taker
at
was
D'Lo
scared.
Brown.
Right. So Taker said he looked at the film and saw his head was nowhere near the canvas. Like he
Mm,
did it the right way and he pressed him. And
mhm.
he was like, from that, it made him feel a certain type of way about it. It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that because like I said, when we were kids, we don't know nothing about the psychology of wrestling. We don't know nothing about the business. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't know like what goes on
We
backstage.
wasn't reading the
Right,
dirt sheets when we was
right,
in the
right.
it didn't even exist. You know what I'm
So we
saying? You couldn't
thinking,
go buy Pro Wrestling
right,
Illustrated
right.
or any of that. You know what I'm
we
saying?
we looking at him like, yo, oh, he hulking up, he doing
Yeah.
the U, and then he
Yeah.
hitting you with a couple of forearms, and then the
He
big
wasn't
boot and the leg
selling. He
drop, and
wasn't
it's over.
selling. He wouldn't
Right,
sell. He wouldn't
right. He
sell.
wouldn't sell. He wouldn't do a job, as they say. He wouldn't do the job. He didn't
Right.
do the job for Bret Hart. He didn't job the Sting.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was always some when he lost, it was always controversy behind the L. And we knowing this when we get older, and then like, you know, some people like we're so blinded, like, yo, he like we grew up like the whole say your prayers, take your vitamins, and he was doing steroids. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's kind of
Right.
like, and then he's playing a character too, like this, like um
It's all a
the
gimmick.
whole
It's all a
right
gimmick.
the whole thing with like when he said like when Trump brought him out during his campaign,
Hmm.
and he said he wanted to body slam Kamala Harris. I see people referencing that now, like he wanted to slam the vice president and a black woman. Are you kidding me? I'm like, he was in character.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Right.
Like, see, you can tell these people weren't wrestling fans.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can
Yeah.
tell they didn't grow up knowing like this is how, like, his whole speech.
He
Like,
was cutting a promo. He was
he was
cutting a
right,
promo.
right. He was definitely cutting a promo on the opposition. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just like a match before he's going into a match, he's cutting the promo like when they used to have the
Yeah.
vignettes
Yeah.
back in the days,
He's
like
getting the crowd hype
that.
for Trump,
Right,
where
right. That's like
before he
Mean
was
Gene.
getting yeah.
Yeah, like
He's a
Mean
promoter.
Gene and
He's a
all that.
promoter.
Yeah, right, right, exactly.
He learned from one of the best promoters in entertainment history.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like so
So it
he's
wasn't, and he might
entertaining.
have felt like that because obviously he's a supporter of Trump, but he
Right.
doesn't want to literally body slam Kamala Harris.
Right, and
You
a
know what I'm
lot of these
saying? Like,
dudes that's wrapped up with Trump too, like wrestlers and Dana White, and it's because Trump has supported wrestling and
hmm
UFC in their
hmm
low moments. He's given
yeah,
them
absolutely,
opportunities. Hey, come
absolutely.
to the Trump Plaza, hold an event
Right.
here. He's given them, opened up doors for them. So I could see their allegiance to
And
Trump and
he
their
did the
affiliation with
match
him.
with Vince. He did the match
Right.
with
You're
Vince a
right.
long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
hair
yeah.
versus
Right,
yeah,
right.
the hair
Yeah,
match.
so Trump has been involved with like see anybody like I'm not a Trumper. I don't care for politics.
But neither do
But
I.
you know what I'm saying? I just know Trump from being like always respected in hip hop because of the money, the
Mhm.
status. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Kind of like the Ric Flair effect, same type of thing. A
Mhm.
big wheeler and dealer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The
Or
girls, the
outside,
like.
always
He's
outside.
a
Yep.
play right outside. He's a playboy. So you
Mhm.
know that Ric Flair image is what Trump was known for. And like I said, he's affiliated with all these sports entertainment dudes, whether it's boxing, whether it's mixed martial arts, pro wrestling. He's a big Knicks fan. He's out there. You know, he's like
Mhm.
the average guy. You know what I'm saying? Big into
Right.
sports.
Right.
So you know that's one of the things I like
You
about
you know
him.
they gonna
One of the
hate her.
few
You know they
things
gonna say something. That, oh, y'all are Trumpers on the
I'm
low,
not
and
though. I'm not. I don't even deal with politics. I'm not a
right.
Republican. I'm
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
Democrat.
Word.
I'm a human
Word.
being. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That's what I am. I don't get down
Word.
with politics, and you can call
Yeah.
me ignorant for not being involved with it. But I've never
Yeah.
noticed a change, whether you know what I'm saying, it been Democrats or Republicans or any of
Right.
that. It's
Yeah.
just always the
What's
same old
wild?
thing.
I got into some like I ain't even really get into it. Off topic, but kind of on. Hunter Biden gave an interview, and it was some of it was cringe, like when he started talking about smoking
Was
crack.
it on
And
Vlad?
no, I forgot who it was. It was like a national interview, man, and he was talking about like smoking crack is actually more healthier than alcohol. But I was just saying, like, why are they even giving him,
A
any kind
platform?
of right. And then people were coming at me because I said something. It's like, yo, you probably a Trumper, you probably a Republican, or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm not neither. I was like, well, George Washington said that, you know, political parties will divide the country. That was his farewell address. Like he warned the country of he didn't have if you look him up, he didn't have a political party. He wasn't a part of a party. He was independent.
Hmm.
And he said that political parties will tear the country apart. And look at it.
You was paying
You know what I'm
attention in
saying?
American history class,
I
weren't you?
was. I mean, I always read. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I explained that in my personal episode, but like I read now. I just had like I have this I think he's in his 90s, one of my customers. And he was reading a book 2 days ago. He was reading a book and I asked him, he's an old Italian guy. He was in the military too.
Hmm.
Old Italian guy. He's like 90 something. He's out there reading a book. And I'm like, what are you reading? And it was about the assassination of JFK. And
Hmm.
we started talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, like all the conspiracy theories behind it. And this was written by forgot the author, but he was somebody who knew JFK.
Hmm.
Um and we're talking about it, and he was like, where'd you get all this information from? I was like, I've read and I watched documentaries because I was mentioning Sam Giancana, then I mentioned the
Hmm.
CIA, and then we started talking about Marilyn Monroe. So fast forward, like the next day, I go and he gives me like three books. He gave me a book today, and it all based off of the assassination of JFK, just off a conversation. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like he was like, you could keep them. Because I told him, I was like, I've been reading my entire life. My mother was a teacher, so I had
Hmm.
to read and
Yeah.
all of that. But yeah, but back to that, like, yeah, man, like if
Let
we
me add on
understood,
real quick. Oh no,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
Finish your thought, and I
No,
want
I'm
to
just
add
saying,
on.
like if we researched because the information is there, and I said that today on Facebook, I was like, copy and paste, regurgitate, no research. This is what
Hmm.
we do. We see a meme,
Hmm.
feel good about it, repost it. Don't even gotta be the truth. Could be speculation, could be whatever. We don't. That's why I asked today, like, what's the origin of death comes in threes? I just heard you hear your family say it. Oh, they say death
Hmm.
comes in threes. So when one person dies, whether it be a celebrity or a family member, why are you looking for two more people to die? And then
Right.
like
Right.
like more than three people die a day.
Thousands upon thousands, tens of
You know what I'm
thousands, or
saying? Right,
hundreds of
right.
thousands.
Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like
Yeah.
I don't get that. But go
Deaths
ahead,
come in
man.
threes. Yeah. Death comes in
Yeah,
thousands
yeah,
upon
yeah,
thousands.
that's crazy.
Um, No, because when you were mentioning like JFK's assassination, like those are pretty interesting topics. And you can go down a rabbit hole of information with that,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be endless. It's like infinite different theories, and what's also interesting, very the Jimmy Hoffa situation, like
Oh
that's
yeah,
crazy
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying? Like
yeah, yeah.
I've listened to a couple different podcasts that have spent like hours on, every year there's people they still digging up locations looking for
Right, right,
Jimmy
right,
Hoffa.
right. Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
There's like an annual dig every year, like big
yeah.
money goes down to dig up different areas and the
Where you
different
think he at? Where you think he at?
I mean, I think they like put them in like a cylinder and put them in like
You think they
sulfuric
grinded him?
acid. Like no, I don't think they grounded them. I think they
Or you think
melted
they
them away in
burned,
some type
melted
of
him?
acid. Yeah, like some type of
Yeah,
acid.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
probably.
because that's it, there's no more. When you get dipped in that acid,
I
you out of
remember,
here. You in that
I remember
drum
one. I remember one of the theories. They said he was buried
under the giant stadium.
at Yankee Stadium too. They
Oh,
said the
these are
old
Yankee
Yankee
Stadium
Stadium.
too?
Yeah, they was like he was at home plate. He was buried
Yeah,
at home plate at Yankee
yeah,
Stadium.
yeah. Yeah.
The old
Well,
Yankee Stadium.
the Detroit mob had something to do with, I guess, his killing, but also it was a collaboration effort from my readings and like
Right,
research, and some
research.
type of
Right.
collaborative effort between the Detroit mob and the New York mob that had that all orchestrated. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's definitely something very interesting to look. If you like mafia type stuff, killings and
Mhm.
mystery type things, it's a wild rabbit hole to
Yeah.
go down. But
Yeah.
let's go back to Hulk Hogan, right? Like what I do want to say in a positive light is like beyond the gimmick, right? The prayers and the vitamins, because that's a gimmick. That's you
Right.
projecting a gimmick upon the masses. But the
And
message
especially
was
upon
still
kids.
right. But the message was valid because it
Hmm.
actually did make people want to do their prayers and take their vitamins. I
Hmm.
legit used to take the Flintstone vitamins every day and
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
that as a
Hulk Hogan.
kid.
Yeah. Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And no lie, I actually also did think about praying every day because he was so entrenched in my mind. Like just
Hmm.
hearing that so often, every Saturday, main event, you know what I'm saying? Whatever house
Hmm.
shows that was going on, even
Hmm.
the cartoon, that the
Oh,
WWF
the
had
rock
at the
and
time.
wrestling. Yeah, rock and
Yeah.
wrestling.
You know what I'm saying? So like this dude was all over, right? Like my mother used to rent the VHS tapes because we didn't have cable, so I never did like the pay-per-view or the closed circuit,
Hmm.
things or whatever. But as soon as the VHS came out on Coliseum Video, you know what I'm
I
saying?
remember that.
I was
That's
renting
throwback.
them, yeah,
That's
renting them
throwback.
joints,
From
and I
Blockbuster.
right, and they used to always have the illest VHS covers. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Um, and I appreciate all of that entertainment. The dude was
Yo,
incredible from our youth into our manhood.
did
You
you
know what I
cry
mean?
when he lost to Warrior?
I think I was happy. I did like Hogan more than Warrior, but I think every little kid was kind of riding the Warrior wave too because it was the new.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like he, used to have everybody hype. He was more brolic than Hogan. So
Yeah.
you looking at like his physique and his energy and all of that and the colors. And I
He
think that
wasn't
everyone
talking
got
about nothing in them
but his
promos
yeah, he
neither.
couldn't he wasn't doing nothing.
Word.
He couldn't sell you a hot dog.
I ain't
You
know
know what I
what he
mean?
was talking about when he used to
Yeah.
be like the
Just
heavens
just
and
yelling
the
mumbo jumbo.
yeah, word. He might have been a never
He
mind.
was bad.
I ain't gonna disrespect nobody's belief system. But he
Yeah, he was
definitely sounded like he was on 125.
yeah,
Talking
I know what you
crazy.
mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
With
Um,
the bullhorn. But
well,
nah, like yo, what was crazy is like I said, like we listened to the shoot stuff, the shoot interviews and the documentaries. And I remember when he became him and Macho Man became the mega powers and they fell
mhm.
out over Elizabeth
Well,
and
which was real,
like
right? There was a real fallout, right?
yeah, it was a real fallout. But
It was real heat.
according according to his ex-wife Linda, like Macho Man was like real. I mean, everybody said that like Macho Man was really like overprotective, sometimes a little bit too protective of Elizabeth at the time.
Acting like a Puerto Rican.
He was wilding. He said he was wilding, and one time like she got away from him, and he called Hogan in them crib like, yo, I know she over there. Like I know
That's a
she
crazy
there. Like,
accusation, though.
yeah, like, like I
She's
know
not
she
here,
over
brother.
there. Word, word. But yeah, like
She left his ass
he
anyway for Lex
yeah,
Luger, though,
for
right?
Luga, yeah, but yeah.
That's a scumbag move too, Luger.
Nah, Luga was wild. He moved in his building with
Didn't
his
he put her
family.
onto drugs too?
Yeah, he put yo, I mean, everybody was on drugs. I'm not like co-signing the drug use, but he moved her in the apartment downstairs that he was staying at with his wife and kids.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you got to watch Dark Side of the Ring and all of
Oh,
that,
well,
yo.
yeah, I done missed that
Yeah,
one.
you gotta watch Dark Side of the Ring, man. That's a good show too about wrestling, and a lot of the shoot interviews like talk about it too. Like people come out and be like, yeah, like everybody knows the Iron Sheik for his wild rants and stuff, but there's a lot of people that was like co-signing his stories too about certain wrestlers, like namely Hogan. Like basically Hogan was probably like a gatekeeper kind of, you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because he was like the number one money guy, bringing the business revenue and all of that, and it's
He
like
was
who he
carrying the
wanted to
company.
work with. Yeah, it's like like we all know he stole his gimmick from superstar Billy Graham because, like me and you discussed before we got on here, he got to the WWF at the time in '79. Then he kind of like Fred Blassie was managing him, and he didn't have like the say your prayers, eat your vitamin gimmick. He actually wore a cape. I think his trunks were white. He had white boots. Um, he was just like super brolic. And when he returned back in like '84, '85, that's when he was repackaged.
Hmm.
And that's when like you said, the rise of Hulkamania, the birth and the rise of Hulkamania kind of like took off, and then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
started like, they got the cartoon, they got Cindy Lauper's involved, they
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah,
Liberace at
yeah.
WrestleMania,
I remember
you
that.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
Like,
became a
yeah,
spectacle. It became
yeah,
a
right,
spectacle.
right. That's when they was moving away, trying to like transition into sports entertainment and move it away from the territories. Because it's like it started with Hogan, and then Vince was like picking the top talent from
Hmm.
all the territories and throwing them in there. Because like you can see, like he had Junkyard Dog, but Junkyard Dog was kind of like not washed, but he kind of like was behind. Like by the time he got to WWF, he was like a mid Carter. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like everybody else, he done snatched. You look at Hogan, you look at Rick Rude, you look at Martel, you look
Shawn
at Don
Michaels, I think, was in
Morocco.
AWA.
Yeah, he was. You look at Shawn Michaels. I'm talking about like the build, the physique of some of these dudes
Hmm.
versus the dudes that his father already had when
Hmm.
it was WWF. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Hmm.
And then he
Hmm.
took the W out and it became WWF when Vince was
Right.
part. 'Cause remember when we started watching it, Vince was a color commentator with
Yeah,
Jesse
yeah.
Ventura. We
Yep.
didn't even
And
know
Gorilla
Vince owned it.
Monsoon.
And Gorilla Monsoon. We didn't even know he was. I
We
didn't
had
even
no
know who
clue.
owned it. I thought Jack Tunney was the
Right,
actual
right,
president and
right,
he
right,
owned it. I
right,
thought Jack Tunney
right.
owned
Because
it.
he used to do the contract
Right,
signings. He
right.
used to announce the main events and
Yeah,
what
and
was coming.
they used to wash Jack Tunney too. I remember Bad News Brown gave him the ghetto blaster, yo. I thought that joint was
I don't
crazy. I'm like,
remember
yo,
that.
he was going against Hogan. He was going
Yeah,
against Hogan, and like I remember they had Bad News Brown like in a program with Hogan where they were supposed to be going back and forth, and
yeah.
it was like Jack Tunney came out there. You could probably Google it or go on YouTube. He gave him the
Hmm.
ghetto blaster to the back of the head. But yeah,
Hmm.
but Vince was like with Hogan, like he was going for the bodybuilder look. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it looks better for television. And then like, it's New York. So you're gonna be on TV. You're gonna draw all of this talent. You're gonna draw outside of the business. Like I said, Liberace, Run DMC was there. They ended up years later, Mike Tyson. They had Muhammad Ali, Mr.
Yeah.
T. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali, a referee, Mr. T
it
tag
was a
teaming
big
with
spectacle.
Hogan and Piper, Hogan against Piper and Orndorff. Like this is
Yeah.
like, so in that regard, he did a lot. And then just to see how, even though NWO wasn't his idea, I don't think it takes off the way it did if he wasn't involved. If he
Well, it
didn't
was
end
his
up
idea
being
to
the
be
third member.
the third
Yeah,
member. It was
because
his
remember the
idea.
third member was
It's
supposed to
supposed to
be
be Sting.
Sting. It was supposed to
Right.
be Sting. Right.
And he said,
And
no, I'll do it.
Hogan, right,
I'll turn
right.
heel.
And I remember watching that in real time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like me and my people, like, me and my man, one of my closest friends, my man Wuzzy, we was watching it at his crib. And my man Tremaine. Like we was watching it, and once we seen Hogan give Macho Man the leg drop,
It's
we was
crazy.
like, we was
Wow.
stunned.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
spray painted his back. They was a gang. NWO was a gang. And then to see
Yeah.
like the merch, and then like him
Hmm.
coming out with him
The
blackening his
music.
beard, putting it right,
Yeah.
the Jimi Hendrix. He had it, but
Wow.
then you had the NWO
New world
music,
order.
and then he had his own joint where it was
And
Voodoo Child. Yeah, not
word.
that one. He had
Yeah,
Voodoo
yeah,
Child
no.
by
Yeah,
Jimi Hendrix when he
yeah,
used to
yeah,
come
yeah.
out and he'd be playing the
Yeah,
belt like a
The
guitar.
air guitar. The
Yeah,
air
the air
guitar,
guitar
right.
with NWO sprayed
Yeah,
on the
nah, it
belt.
was crazy. It was crazy.
Nah, they was really Hollywood Hogan, but
They
for
was
him,
really
I
gang
never
banging.
thought. Right,
They was really
right,
gang banging. They was
and
putting in
and,
pain
and we
every
was
week, every Monday
and what's
Nitro.
crazy, the Monday Night Wars was crazy because like Vince and them was losing, and I was tuning
Bad.
in to see who they was going to jump the following week, or to see if
Yeah.
Sting was going to jump out the rafters and
Right.
swing the
Yeah.
baseball bat and all
Right.
of that.
Right,
You know
because
what I'm saying? So
WCW was quiet at that point, like as far
yeah,
as the split, like you know what I'm saying. There
right,
was nobody that had the power to like compete with that, other than
right.
Sting. You know what I mean?
Other
Because
than Sting, right, right,
it
right.
seemed like if you tuned in, right, you was watching it and be like, yo, every week somebody else was getting blessed into NWO. You know what I'm
Word,
saying?
word,
Whether it
word.
be Rick Rude, Ted DiBiase, Lex
The
Luger.
Giant,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying? The
right.
Giant. You know what I'm saying?
Conan.
Yeah, exactly. Conan, right?
Nah,
So it
they
was
had a
like,
crew.
yo,
They had a crew.
and then they had the split with the NWO Wolf Pack. You know what I'm
Right, and
saying? Which
black
was
and white.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They even had the what is it? The LWO,
Yeah,
and
because
they had
they
the
kicked Conan
BWO
out.
and
Yeah, the
ECW.
NCW.
So
Yep,
Blue
yep,
World
yep,
Order. It was
yep.
just it was a crazy time, man. And you know, like you can't even lie. Like what people can't do, people that are wrestling fans can't deny that, man. Hogan brought a lot of entertainment to our life. You know what I'm
And he
saying?
had a lot of movies. Like even though No
Yeah,
Holds Barred
yeah.
it didn't age too well.
But it was fire when I first
It was
watched it,
fine
though.
when we was kids. Yeah,
With
I didn't like
Zeus
Suburban Commando, but I mean I watched it. He was in
or
What
Mr.
was that?
Nanny,
Mr.
Mr.
Ned. What was
Nanny,
Rocky 3? He was in Rocky 3.
right?
He was in Gremlins 2, I think. Yeah, he was in
Yeah, he was in
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins too. Yep.
He was in Three Ninjas. No, was it Three Ninjas or Surfboard Ninjas?
It was Surf Ninjas or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
Surf Ninja.
that.
I think it was Surf Ninjas he was
Surf
in.
Ninjas. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of
You know
his
what I'm
movies
saying?
was duds and they weren't too
Yeah. But
but
No
he
Holds
opened the
Barred,
door, for the Rocks, the John
John
Cena's,
Cena,
you know what
Stone
I'm
Cold.
saying?
Right.
Right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Which
Right.
none of these guys will probably be in the film industry if it wasn't for Hogan crossing over into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Definitely.
It was a big move. So you know he paved the way in multiple different ways for
He
people.
did.
And at the end of the day, if you want to say we could say all the bad things that Hogan did, right? All the scumbag moves. We mentioned a few of them, but at the end of the day, he made the business what it is, which opened the door for a lot of people to feed their families. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, and he took it from he basically put it on his back and made it as big as it could be. You know what I'm saying?
And
Whether
whoever
it
worked
be
the storyline with
WWF,
him got a bag.
right? It was similar to the Conor McGregor effect or the Canelo
Or
effect,
the Mayweather.
right?
Like you're
You know what
gonna
I'm
get a
saying?
bag. You're gonna get a
Right.
bag. Right.
If you was gonna compete with the top guy, then you was gonna your life would change ultimately. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, you know, like Listen, man, aside from his shortcomings, which I don't agree with at all. Like, if you a
Right,
racist, you a piece of shit. Period. Whether you
right,
white, whether you a white racist, a black racist, a Latino racist, whatever type,
right,
racism is whack. Period.
right.
Because ain't nobody
Any kind
better
of
than
prejudice is
anybody.
whack. Right,
It's
right,
whack.
right.
Bigots are
Because
whack. Everything is
I'm just
whack.
saying that because they're gonna say minorities can't be racist because we're not in a position of power. That's why I said earlier, it's a social construct. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That race is an idea. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Hmm.
like, it's something made up, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, like the minorities aren't in power, so we can't be racist, but we can be prejudiced, and we could be tribal, and we could be nationalists
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
also. And that's really not supposed to, be a thing, because you don't
Yeah.
have to you can be proud of what you are and your heritage and all of that without putting another's down. You know what I'm saying? Like you
So
don't
I'm.
have to I'm
Hmm.
listening.
No. No. Go ahead.
No,
Finish
I'm
your
just
thought.
saying you don't have to big yourself up by putting somebody down.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
don't
So
kick a man down. Don't talk ill of a man that passed away, and whatever. People love them, let them love him. If you
and
hate
you
him,
don't know how
then
he
hate
went
him.
out. You don't know
Yeah,
how
you
he
don't.
went out
Yeah,
neither. You don't even know how he
yeah.
went out. He could have
You know what
been,
I'm saying?
like I said, he could have been repentful. He could have repented. And it's not really up to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just worry
Hmm.
about where you going.
Yeah.
Whether or not you going to hell or not, if that's what you believe in. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right. What I wanted to ask you is, if you could name one moment that you think about often, like if Hulk Hogan comes to your mind. Like, what moment is it in his career, whether it's a match, whether it's something he said, it could be a promo. Like, name one thing that you think like that comes to your mind.
The fireball when Sergeant Slaughter blew it in his face,
Hey, yo.
Ah,
No, yeah.
because
Talk on it.
nah, because remember Sergeant Slaughter, remember he was always on some like America, whatever.
Hmm.
And then when he came back into the
Sergeant Slaughter was a villain then? He was a heel? He was a
yeah,
heel at that point?
yeah, but
Okay.
remember he was rocking with Iron
What?
Sheik.
Right.
He remember Iron Sheik was Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan, which is, and Sheik is from Iran and
Hmm.
Adnan is from Iraq. So this is
Right.
around the time during the Gulf War. So
Right.
Sergeant Slaughter was seen as a traitor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Remember, he beat Hogan for the belt. He
Right.
had the belt. So like I guess they was having like a standoff, and he blew a fireball. He he spit a yoga fire in Hogan's face. And Hogan like he was like, and it was a real fireball too. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
It's wild. Like if you really like ever seen a documentary or behind the scenes on wrestling, how they used to blade, how they used to get color, whether it be
Hmm.
the referee handing you, I mean, back in the days, the ref or your opponent would hand you like the small razor and you
Hmm.
would
Hmm.
cut
Hmm.
yourself or they would cut you. But now,
Yeah.
like, they'll keep them in the fingertips, or
Hmm.
they might keep it
And a
like if they
wristband
tape
and a
their wrist, you're
wristband.
right, they'll tape
Right.
it there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it'll even be a whole blade. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It'll be like part of a razor or whatever. And
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
to see Hogan, and I was young. I might have been, what was that, like 92, 91,
Hmm.
92. So like looking at
Wow.
it, I'm like, and we still thinking, even though after that's after Duggan and Sheik got exposed for like, with they got found with weed and krills and beer on the Jersey Turnpike. Um
A mess.
we still kids, and we
Oh,
like, yep. Word, shout out High to Jim Duggan, yo.
whoa,
He
New
a
York's
G.
finest.
Word up. Did
For
he
the
catch?
homie,
No,
right? And they
yeah, I
caught
think
up.
he
He didn't
did.
catch a
Yeah,
body.
he caught a body. Did he catch a
Yeah,
body or like
I
a,
think he caught a body. I think he
or
caught
he
a
might
body.
have, or he almost killed
Or he
the
smoked
dude.
them. He smoked
Yeah,
somebody, right?
yeah, he did for trying to come up in the crib. But shout
Whoa.
out Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But yeah, yo, seeing that was crazy to me. Seeing
I
that
got
was
one for
crazy to
you. I
me.
got one for you too. I mean, I got a lot of joints that I could think of Hogan, but one of the silliest moments that used to make me die laughing is when the Yeti came out and
And they
Hogan
were
had
and
him in that bear hug, but it was looking crazy, yo. The way they was holding, like
uh
you remember that scene? He
when
had
him and
something like
Giant like
this.
kind of sandwiched them, and they
Yeah,
you talking
yeah,
about
it looked,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
had him
nah, it did look
in the
crazy. It did
ring.
look crazy.
It was
Yeah,
looking
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It
I
was
remember
looking
that. The
wild crazy.
Yeti. And they used to be like, the
Word,
Yeti, the Yeti,
word,
the
word.
Yeti.
That was
That was crazy.
uh Elegante, right? That was the
I
giant,
don't
right?
think nah. I
No?
don't know. I don't know who that
I think
was.
it
I
was. I
gotta
think
look.
it was.
It might
Yeah,
have been. It might
yeah.
have
I think
been.
it was. I think
Nah,
because
nah,
he
because remember he was already a part of the Dungeon of
yo,
Doom.
I'm
He
gonna
might
look
have
it up
left.
right.
Yeah, look it up, look it
I'm
up,
gonna
look
look
it up, look it up.
I'm gonna look it up real
I don't
quick
think
too.
it was. I don't think he was the Yeti. I think somebody, and I'm saying Yeti because that's what they. But it was
That's how they
Yeti.
said it.
Yeah, the
Oh, you're
Yeti, the
right. You're
Yeti.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. Who
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it?
Ron Reese. Ron Reese is known for his appearance in WWE, WCW. Yeah, that's crazy. His name is Ron Reese.
WCW. He
So
probably was
ring
a
name is
jobber.
Big Bomb Jones, Big Ron Stud. Yeah, he's a jobber. Evil Reese,
Big
Ron
Ron
Reese,
stud.
the
That's
Super
crazy.
Giant Ninja, SWAT, Vanilla Gorilla, and the Yeti. Wow, I thought that
That's
was
crazy.
Elegante.
How he still Big John Stud's joint, like Big Ron Stud, like
Big Ron Stud, word, jacking names.
bro.
Yeah. But man, I also liked every time he sprayed somebody down with the NWO spray.
Oh yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that was
crazy.
legendary. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he was tagging.
Word, for
He
real.
tagged him, yo. He tagged him.
Word,
That
word,
and
man.
he used to talk when he was Hollywood Hogan. He used to talk kind of crazy. He used to
Yeah,
be
he was talking
talking
greasy.
crazy.
He
Yeah,
was talking greasy.
his promos was like promos was crazy. I didn't really like TNA Hogan. I ain't like when his daughter got involved. Like some of the storyline with TNA. I think he was too old.
I wasn't
Um,
even watching it.
yeah, like I had just got
TNA. I
back
wasn't.
into watching wrestling. You know what
Well,
I'm saying around that time, and then I stopped again
mm,
because like I guess when I was in the military, I missed a lot of it. You know what
right,
I'm
right.
saying? Like I just stopped watching, and then by the time I came home, it was kind of different to me. So like I think that was the aggression era when I came out of the
Yeah,
military. I didn't really catch the aggression era. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Hogan was already in WCW was dying anyway. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like when NWO came to WWE. I didn't like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't really like
I
that
think
either.
that was corny. I think it was corny. I
Yeah.
think him in TNA was kind of like I mean, I liked how they was getting other talent from other places.
Hmm.
Like people like you only heard of like on the underground circuit or like the independent circuit rather. And he was getting
Hmm.
these dudes, but I don't like how they be recycling all these old dudes because it's like it's taken away from um
Hmm.
the newer talent.
Yeah.
And but I get it. I guess they're still trying to draw names off nostalgia.
Hmm.
So, to
I mean,
keep people
it worked for
engaged.
WCW. It worked
Yeah,
for
to keep people
WCW.
engaged. Right.
You see the first hour of Nitro, they was giving it to like the Mexican stars, the luchadors, the
Right,
Japanese
right, right,
stars, the
right.
cruiserweights.
The cruiserweights, right. Right.
You would tune in and see, Alex the Wonder Kid, Disco Inferno,
Oh
Ernie the
man.
Cat.
Oh,
You you see all these, the
yo.
lesser, the jobbers to a degree, and
That's
then you
Wonder
would see
Kid, yo.
the big boys because
That dude was
WCW is
Chippendale.
where the
That's him
were.
and Disco Inferno was Chippendale's finest, yo.
Word, for real, definitely. That
Yo,
dance off is legendary,
yeah,
legendary,
word,
man.
word, word.
But
But yeah,
man,
man.
shout out to Hogan, man, for his contributions. Uh, I hope that
Yeah.
he made things right, with his family and,
Right. Yeah, he had an
you
issue with
know,
it. His daughter wasn't rocking with him
right,
or her
yeah,
mother.
right, right. He had a
You
lot
know
of
what I'm saying?
internal issues.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I guess right now, we'll always remember like his contributions to, you know, the wrestling entertainment industry, and even now, he had launched that new business with Eric Bischoff, and I
Right.
believe they're gonna have like freestyle wrestling. It's like something
Mhm.
similar to like MMA, but like I don't know. It's like I don't know too much about it, but I heard it's like a MMA freestyle wrestling type thing. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's gonna be fairly successful. Eric Bischoff's
You
a proven promoter.
you can't mention wrestling without mentioning Hulk Hogan. And
Uh,
it's like with Chris Benoit, you see how they like omitted him basically. They
hmm
omitted him. He didn't take wrestling nowhere. He was dope. What he did was unforgivable, and it was heinous because you can't even you killed your wife, your son, and then you took your own life. So that's unforgivable. That's
And it
like
was
if you a
Kevin Sullivan. It
believer,
wasn't him.
right? Allegedly,
No,
right, right,
no.
right.
Yeah,
But
that's what
no,
they say.
in all seriousness, it's like if you do those acts, you can't repent from suicide. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's already done. Like, that's something that's unforgivable in monotheistic um religion. Like suicide is like unforgivable. Everything else is forgivable. Unless like in Islam, if you associate partners with the law,
hmm
until you that's a major sin. It can be forgiven only if it's not persisted. Like if you die upon that's something that's unforgivable and suicide. So anything else could be to see this is why like these so-called religious people really need to study their book of faith, if you will, because like a lot of stuff people be saying and then talking about God and this and that, like you really don't understand, what you be
Yeah,
talking about, like, because we don't wish death on people. You know what I'm saying? Like
shouldn't
it's like
ridicule the dead.
right,
Talk
right.
ill of the dead. But you know
Like
what I
like I
think it is? You,
like
you know what
go
I
ahead.
think it is? I think it's people think like it shows weakness to forgive. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And
Absolutely.
people want to keep this farce and this image that like, nah, I'm unforgiving. Like you ain't never gonna get one. Like I'm not gonna give you no mercy. I'm
You
gonna
know
be
what you know
relentless
what
and
they
keep my
say?
foot on your neck.
What did Rick Ross say? Didn't he have an album, God Forgives, I
God
Don't?
forgives and I don't. Right.
How is that? If you
They
want forgiveness, how you not gonna forgive? If
right,
you asking for forgiveness,
right,
how you not gonna be, how
right,
you not gonna forgive?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
hmm
I'm sure like there's like and we only respect the dead when we like the person.
hmm
Your
Right.
uncle, your father, your mother, they could have been crackheads, they could have been career thieves, career criminals, but when they die, oh, you can't talk about, yeah, let's leave that. Like, yeah, but we still love them. People still love Hulk Hogan, like regardless
Yeah.
of what he said and regardless of what he did,
Yeah.
and like I said, we don't know how he died. I'm gonna still go back to that. I'm gonna beat that dead horse. No Diddy. Like that. I have to like emphasize. I have to put emphasis on that because we don't know how we're gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? Like so, you don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
if right before the last, you don't know his last words. You don't know his last words. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I be seeing reports. I don't know how true it is. I saw something somebody posted weeks ago. He allegedly got baptized. Then I saw when he got sick, he couldn't speak. I don't know how true that is because I didn't even like I just scrolled, I saw it, and I didn't like even think to like do research on it. Because normally when I see something, and it sounds like kind of crazy, I'll like do my own research. You know what I'm saying? From a reliable source, or like, I'll try to like see if things add up together or whatever. And that like him not being able to speak reminded me of in the Quran and in the Hadith where they talk about Pharaoh. Um he's regarded as the worst person in history, right? The
Mm.
one that went up against Musa. alayhi salam, right? And it says that he thought he was a god, he thought he was a deity. But when the Red Sea swallowed him and him and his people were drowning, and Allah like drowned them after they led Moses and the people out from captivity,
Mhm.
it said that the angels, like he was trying to ask for forgiveness and was trying to recite the Shahada, but the angels kept packing his mouth with mud, so he couldn't.
Mhm.
So he died.
Mhm.
So ultimately, he died upon what he was upon. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like, I'm like that made me think of that when they're like, yo, he couldn't speak. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
don't know. We don't know the heart. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mhm.
if his heart was like he wanted to be forgiven, that's between him and his Lord. Like, so for people to just keep, he was racist, he was racist, he was racist. Yo, Diddy, we saw Diddy, y'all wanted him free. A lot of people wanted him free, regardless of what we
Mhm.
saw on tape. You know what I'm saying? A
Mhm.
lot of people want R. Kelly free, regardless of what we saw on tape. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people, when
A
people
lot
come
of
home from
forgiveness
jail.
for a lot of other.
Yeah,
They pick and
yeah.
choose who they give forgiveness
Yo,
and who they
Negroes,
overlook, and who they
Negroes come
judge.
home from jail all the time and go back in and come out and go back
Mhm.
in and swearing. You swearing because that's the homie, that's the big homie, that's your nephew,
Mhm.
that's this, that's that. He's gonna change, he's gonna change, and he don't change. He not even looking
Yeah.
to change. He's not even
Right.
looking to change.
Yeah.
And y'all still accepting, y'all still making excuses for him after all the
Right.
mistake. Like, yo, a word, to me, words, I know words can incite people. It shouldn't, but it does, unfortunately. But the stuff we do to our own so-called people, I think is far worse than somebody saying nigger.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely
You,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
I
right.
really think
Yeah.
for you to hear him say it twice, and then who knows? Like, you sent the video earlier when he said we grew up saying that, and
Right.
yo,
Hogan said he's from the hood of Tampa, right? That's what he said. He grew up in the slums
yo,
of Tampa.
and who's to say? And there was a point when he started off, he was poor though. But like if
Right.
you look
Of
into
course.
his history, he was poor. But how you know that that's not how he grew up? Yo, I told you, I've been in the military and I heard white dudes say, like, to not a hip or a down so-called black person, tell them they're more black than them because they grew up
Right. You told me
around
that.
black people. I've seen it. I've heard it. I mean, I've corrected a lot of people for saying it, but I've heard Asian people say the N word, and I heard a lot of people say the N word because this is how they grew up and they're comfortable, and their friends allowed them to say
Puerto
it.
Ricans use it. Puerto Ricans use
Right,
it.
right.
Crazy in New
Like
York City. I'm Puerto
I've
Rican.
seen I've
Puerto Ricans
seen
use it. Dominicans use it. In LA, the Mexicans use it. You know what I'm
yo,
saying?
yeah.
Chicago, the Mexicans use it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yo,
So
I seen
not
pictures
to
with Hogan.
I'm not
Not
with
to
it.
condone it. We're not condoning
I
it.
don't condone it. I strive my best not to use the word because
Right.
like,
Because you know its
you know what I'm
origin.
saying? I know its origin and I also strive to project a better message when I'm speaking, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why
Right.
say that when I could use brother or bro,
Or
or
whatever,
I mean,
any
it's
kind
so
of other
be
word.
I
Or your name.
my
Or the
guy, like
person's name.
you're
Or the
right.
person's
There's a
name.
million things you could say other than using the N
Right.
word. Oh,
Right.
my N. Oh, you a real N. Like, I don't want to
Right.
be a real nothing. I want to be a real man. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
but whatever. Listen, man. My thing is, listen, well, if you don't like
Condolences to
Hogan,
his family.
whatever.
Condolences to
Yeah,
his family,
condolences to his
yo.
family, man. Like, yo,
You know.
Brooke, if you need a shoulder to cry on, you know what I'm saying?
Stuff, bro.
Holla.
That's stuff, bro. Yo, you wow.
Yeah,
Nah,
no, I ain't
you
mean that.
stupid. You stupid.
Nah,
But
but
yeah,
peace to
like,
Brooke Hogan.
bro, he has to deal with that with the creator. And I hate, like, I saw it, like, before we go, because I don't want to, like,
Yo,
keep
bro.
carrying on. Like, yo, I saw somebody say today is the anniversary of, like, the leak call, the racist rant. And somebody gonna say, yeah, the ancestors killed him because they knew. So the ancestors waited
Mhm.
10 years. So now there's gonna be, like, all the numerologists gonna say, yeah, because 10 represents, you know what I'm saying? And the
Death.
one and the zero, the
Yeah.
one and the
Yeah.
zero. And if you mess with the ancestor, when an ancestor ever killed somebody?
Well,
Well,
tell me
I
what's been
don't know, like,
recorded.
yo, yeah, like, how you
Tell
know
me the
what the
record.
answer? Yeah, yeah. We supposed to praise God and God only, not the ancestors.
Well,
Like,
well, you
yo,
hear
man.
that
But
often,
anyway,
may the ancestors be pleased. Everybody tries to
uh,
deviate and find some type of
they
alternative way
dead.
of,
They dead.
so right, right,
They worrying about themselves in the grave, man. Like, leave them
right.
alone. They probably don't even want to be called on. Like, this is idol worshiping. This is polytheism. This is shirk in Islam. This is shirk, man. Like, associating partners with the law. You giving a human being God's attribute. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You giving a, like, ain't no human being divine, unless Allah allows it. Anything is due to Allah's will, and Allah's permission. I don't get it. I ain't even gonna get into that because that's a whole nother episode, man. And I really don't want to get into it because it'll take a turn for something else. But shout out to Hulk
Well,
Hogan.
yeah.
Condolences to his
Thanks.
family and the people that loved him. And yo,
Well,
he put wrestling. He made me a fan of it. I might not agree. I thought some of his matches were boring as I got older. And then I look at it now, some of them, and I'm just like, yeah, I ain't really like all his matches were pretty much the same to me, like a Ric Flair match.
hmm
I didn't really,
hmm
I wasn't really like, and I know people, they showed me when he was in Japan,
in
when
Japan,
Antonio
yeah, he was getting
Inoki,
busy.
he was getting busy with the holds and the takedown, and maybe he was restricted. Maybe Vince or
Hmm.
creative said you don't
Hmm.
have to do much, because we don't
Hmm.
want you getting hurt and we want you to
Stick
look
to the
like,
formula.
yeah,
Stick
stick to
to
the
the
formula.
formula.
Right, right, right. So
It's
maybe
because it's
that's
proven. Why
what
why
it
deviate
was.
from something that's proven? You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
we as wrestling fans, we were anticipating the leg drop, the big boot. Oh,
And
we knew the
the
routine,
hulking
the
up. Yeah,
the
we,
the
we knew
hulking
when he
up,
gonna hulk
the
up. When
pointing
he
at
gonna hulk up.
you. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying? The
yeah.
rep. Everything was routine. We waiting for
Right.
for all of that to go down. But
Yo, and he stole
yeah,
that from
man.
Macho Man too, real quick. I just keep thinking of stuff. The thing with
Well,
the ear, this,
hmm
he got that from Elizabeth and Macho Man, and then
well,
just took it on his own. If you watch the
mm,
formation of the Mega Powers, like,
hmm
Hogan stole a lot too. He was a swagger. He stole aura from a lot of people. He stole the gimmick from Superstar Billy Graham.
he was the Jay-Z
The
of
the
wrestling.
whole
You saying?
Yo, he stole the gimmick because Superstar Billy Graham was saying brother and all of that, and he had the beard
Right,
and the
right, right.
mustache. He was the one with the thick
Yeah,
one and
yeah,
the
yeah,
hair
yeah,
and the wild
yeah,
muscles and all of
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it was Superstar
yeah,
Billy Graham. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, give him his just due. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, the thing with the to the crowd, that was
Hmm.
Macho Man and them. That was Macho
Nah, I
Man and
didn't even
Elizabeth.
realize that.
You know what I'm saying? That
Or,
was like some Mega Powers type joint because he wasn't doing that prior to the Mega Powers. You know
or,
what I'm saying? But yeah, but shout out to Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, also known as Hollywood Hogan. You know what I'm
or,
saying?
and NWO for life.
Word.
Peace.
Whee!